So good evening, everyone. I'm glad to be able to welcome with us this evening Coral Ryder. We are just going to briefly discuss what we've got going on at church on the 11th of May 2024. And Coral's going to be providing us with a workshop for the evening. I do apologise if you're hearing squeaking in the background, but the dog's decided he's going to squeak his toy. So if you don't hear that, I do apologise. So welcome, Coral. Do you just want to introduce yourself a little bit for us, please?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name's Coral Ryder. I am an award holder of the Spiritual National Union, and I hold the certification in spirit art. So, yeah, I'm a medium, basically, who draws.
Brilliant. So how did you first get into spiritualism then, Coral? Where did it all begin for you?
It started for me when I was little. My mum happens to be a medium, so I grew up with mediumship being deemed a normal, natural ability. She later on then, she's always been a member of the Spiritual National Union, so she ended up being an officiant, and then she became a minister of religion within spiritualism. So it's just been there all of my life, and I was aware of little things when I was little, but nothing major, if you understand what I mean, just a slight awareness of things going on. Can't say I had any major, strong communications. It was more, I used to wake up every night and watch the, as I put it, people-shaped clouds going from house to house visiting people. And I used to like watching them when I was little. Didn't understand what I was seeing, but I just enjoyed to watch these people going from house to house. So because I knew it existed, I wasn't really interested in exploring my own abilities because I already knew there was an afterlife. It's been apparent to me since I was little. So I was more interested in exploring this life. My mother and father always said we'd find our own pathway to God. At that time, my mother was a spiritualist. My father was Christian. So my father tried varying different religions under the umbrella of Christianity, different ones. And my mother was still a spiritualist. And then one day he was challenged to go to church, got an amazing message and went, how did they know that? So he came into it through a scientific point of view. So between the two of them, I had the science on one side, the other who would just give communications. So it was just there in the background all the time. And then when I hit my 30s, suddenly I heard a voice in my head telling me to put down what I was doing and to start drawing. So and that's how the drawing started.
Yeah, brilliant. So how long have you been an artist roughly for now then?
I started in 2005. So almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Almost 20 years.
20 years next year, 19 years.
Yeah. It's 26th of May it started in 2005. Wow. And I was sat playing on my PlayStation. And I was playing Metal Gear Solid, and I can still remember on the screen exactly where I was in the game when I heard this voice in my head saying, can you put that down, paper, pencil, draw? So I sat with my eyes closed, pencil poised on paper, waiting for something to happen. And then I heard the words, can you open your eyes so I can see where I'm doing, please? Yeah. And when I opened my eyes, my hand started to move, but I wasn't consciously moving it at the time. Yeah. So I work with what's called control, where I allow my workers in the spirit world to move my hand. I jokingly refer to myself as a fax machine. I hold the pencil, and the lady who works with me draws.
Oh, lovely.
That's when I'm doing spirit portraits. When I'm doing autographs, I feel what my colours are, and I'm the artist. So I've had to learn how to draw as I've gone through. A couple of years ago, Spirit turned around and said, it's okay now, you can go and learn how to draw. So I went off to Teesside University's summer school, did a 10 session course, and they taught me some basics in drawing techniques and things like that, so I could help students learn how to draw, if that makes sense. So, yeah.
Just so you just touched on the spirit drawings are different to the autograph drawings.
They are when I'm working,
yeah. So go on, I'll let you explain. I was going to ask you how does it work.
How all mediumship works and how our psychic works, how we perceive the information is the same. It's the source of the signal we've tuned into that's different. So it's like we either see things, so clairvoyance, hear things, clairaudient, clairsentient, we feel that you're going through the clairs. So with technically it all comes under the centers, but we have our own names for them. But with clairvoyance, some artists will see and they draw what they're seeing. So it could be on the screen of their mind, it could be projected out in front of them, almost like it's like sort of you're seeing it with your physical eyes, but you're not. It's still the brain that sees it. Then you get some who will look at the paper and they'll see like an outline appear on the paper, trace the outline that they're seeing. That's still clear seeing. We then have some who will hear descriptions.
Right.
So they might get in their mind, if they're drawing a spirit portrait, they might get, I've got almond-shaped eyes, Roman-shaped nose. It's a little bit like a police photo of it.
Okay.
The police, and they're going out, it's out to just, it's the same principle. So it's like you're either hearing the voice internally or you're hearing it externally. But again, I have to say it's the mind that projects the sound outwards. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So sometimes we hear what to put in there. So you might get, put a cat in, put a dog in, put a tree in, but you might get those kind of things. I once had the words put an eagle hawk in, and I had to look up what one was, because we have eagles and we have hawks, but I'd never heard of an eagle hawk.
Right.
And it turns out it's the biggest bird of prey in Australia. So I had to look at what one looked like to try and draw it. So when I work with an autograph, I work clairsentiently. I feel where things should be, and then I'm sometimes impressed to put certain items in, and I sometimes have to look at what that item looks at and then try my best to replicate what it looks like, if that makes sense. So
then if people get anything on the day for the workshop, then they can basically, they're not cheating, they can look on the phones and say if they're not sure what it is and things.
And if you were drawing spirit portraits, if you're going to draw evidential, then no, you wouldn't look at a person. You wouldn't look what they look like, because that's not a spirit portrait. That's an artist just drawing what they see. But for an autograph, you're linking in on that one-to-one level. So it's soul to soul. And then you start perceiving pieces of information. And if you perceive that they had a red car, but you don't know what the car looked like, you can look up that make of car. And do you get what I mean? But you're not asking the person to tell you what car they had. You're just impressed it's this car, and you look it up and you draw it. So it's not cheating that way. A lot of artists will look at an item to get an idea of how to draw it. They're not just expected to instantly draw it, but when you're doing a spirit portrait, you are.
I think if I was given a bird or a flower or something, I'd be straight on Google looking to see what it was, because I wouldn't have a clue myself either.
So sometimes it's just random shapes that I draw, and they start to take on an appearance. And as you turn an autograph round, it's amazing, because sometimes you've drawn things in there that you didn't see.
Right.
You might have even written a name in there when you've been scribbling and not even realised you've scribbled someone's name in there. It's really interesting when you explore the world of autographs. I love them. They're very therapeutic. Because it's also a little bit mindfulness as well when you're doing them, because you're in the moment, so you can forget about what's going on in your life and just dwell in the moment of creation. And because you're working with colours, it's extremely therapeutic for you and for the person you're doing it for. So lovely. I love working with colour.
It sounds like you're passionate about working with colour.
I am very much passionate about my spirit art and my psychic art. I'm very passionate about both of them. So
lovely. So you've took this as well worldwide, haven't you? You've went other places with it as well.
Yes. So I've recently come back from Switzerland. I was in Bern with a friend, Sue Dyby. She's a wonderful medium in Switzerland. So I was at her centre for a little bit, and then I'm back out later this month in Notchetal, where I'll be working with a lovely lady called Priska. So,
wow. So
yeah.
you're getting around a bit, aren't you?
I'm starting to.
You've been to America with it as well, haven't you?
I have been to the States with it. I was due to go back out in October, but there's things going on, so that's been postponed to next year. I'm in Finland in August. So, yeah, I'm starting to travel again with it.
Brilliant.
I started traveling with it, but then COVID struck.
Yeah.
We all got locked in,
which
was not nice. But yeah, I'm starting to get back out there with it. My passion lays not only in demonstrating it, but in seeing other people's faces when they go, I can't draw. And then when you finish with them, they're going, how on earth did I draw that? And I teach some drawing techniques, some blending techniques for the colours, because I don't know about you, Chris, but when I was in school, they would just shove an item in front of me and say, draw that.
Oh, I can only draw matchstick.
But they never showed me how to draw something. They would just say, draw that.
Yeah.
But all art, from what I've learned, is about values of light and dark. It's like if you can write the letter O, you can draw a circle.
Yeah.
You can then be taught how to shade that circle into a 3D ball.
Yeah.
But if all it takes is somebody to show you the steps, and if you follow it step by step and practice it again and again, it comes to you. Makes it much easier when someone shows you how.
So I suppose that's a big clue to give away with people that are looking to do this workshop is you don't have to draw.
Exactly.
You can come along and do it without being able to draw.
You're right. Yeah. When I was in school, the highest mark that I can remember getting in school for art was 2 out of 10 for effort.
Yeah, I think I gave up on art just because of the fact I couldn't draw.
Well, a lot of people don't think they can't.
Yeah.
Until someone shows them the basics.
Yeah.
And it's what we've got to remember is sometimes we look at our own artwork and we question it and think, oh no, it's not very good. And then somebody else looks at it and goes, oh my God, that is amazing. That's stunning. It touches me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Art affects people in different ways, and the colours we use affect people in different ways.
Yeah.
But believe me, by the end of the class, I will have people drawing something.
Yay. So where are you affiliated to at the moment then, Coral?
At the moment, I'm affiliated to a lovely church. It's in Darlington. It's Darlington SNU Church and Awareness Centre. And it's on, I think it's Denmark Street in Darlington. I can heartily recommend if people are in that area, do pop in. I know they do like healing on a Thursday evening and things like that, and have like sort of their services as well. So yeah, it's a nice church. You get a nice warm welcome. But it's the same as when I come to your church. There's always a nice warm welcome.
Oh, thank you very much. I know I've been to Darlington quite a few times visiting and things, and it is a lovely church. So if you ever passing by, go and say hello to Coral in there if you're passing. So moving on to the workshop then. Yep. So what are people going to be expecting? I'll rephrase that. What are people going to be expecting on the day? What are they going to be doing on the day?
So on the day, I will take you. I'll usually start off with a PowerPoint because it's easy to get. It's dual coding. It's visual and auditory. It tends to stick in our mind a little bit easier if you've got it dual coded. So I tend to start you off with a quick PowerPoint. I'll take you through the basics of what an aurograph is, what the aura is. It's got different layers to it, different names for those layers. I will take you through what an aurograph is, what the traditionally what it was, the timeline aurograph. The gentleman who created them was a man called Harold Sharp, and he described them as an artistic diagram of the human aura.
Right.
So yeah, and he drew the most beautiful auragraphs. I will bring some along with me so you can see his style of artwork as well. I'll bring different samples in, and we will go through what the basics are. We'll go through what some basic colours are. And then I'm going to get you drawing, teaching you step by step how to blend the colours, and then get people doing one-to-one sittings with each other and exploring their own psychic and mediumistic abilities through the creative mind. So you're going to create a piece of artwork. You're then going to interpret it. So it's a little bit, like when you might read an oracle card for somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. All it is a tool of interpretation.
Yeah.
The difference this way, though, is you become the artist who creates the tool of interpretation.
Right.
And what the idea behind the aurograph is, I don't see people's colours within the aura. I sense the colours within the aura. So I put my hand over my pastels and I'm feeling for the same vibration that I can feel coming from your aura.
Okay.
So I choose the colours that are in your aura and then that I perceive to be there. And then I create a piece of artwork based around those colours. So it's like a very, very basic one, but something like,
Yeah.
So it's just a very basic one that I've done. But you can see how I've blended the colours together. And I teach people how to do that. It's varying different ways. I teach people how to draw, blend colours and that kind of thing. So it's a fun way of exploring your mediumship and your psychic abilities. So it's going to be a bit of this and a bit of that. But mainly we're going to go through what an orograph is, the basic maps for orographs, how to lay down colours, symbology, and then practice on each other.
Practice.
Yes, because traditionally it was read on a psychic level, but then also spirit may come into it. So you might read as you're going through the timeline that somebody's grandma passed when they were age 12. But then you can send the thought out to grandma in the spirit world and say, would you like to come and have a chat?
Yeah.
And then you can bring the spirit communication in as well. So it's learning what part is psychic, what part is spirit communication as well.
Yeah. I think that's the thing as well, why this workshop's quite good for mixed levels as well, because even if you're not a medium, you can still do this, can't you? And
absolutely.
you can read off it.
Yeah, absolutely. There's people out there who do orographs purely on that psychic level.
Yeah.
And they're tuning into you, so therefore it's that one-to-one. It's what we call a psychic level. Yeah. But it's that very foundation, and the more we hone that psychic level, we can then possibly take the next step and tune to the spirit signal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And everyone's got the ability to do it. It's just, I think some people look at it sometimes longer and they go, because they've never done it before and things.
How I liken it, it's like a musician. Yeah. Some people are natural born musicians and they can go straight up to a piano and tinker on the keys. And next thing you know, they're playing something beautiful. Yeah. Then you'll get some who can be trained to play really well. Mm-hmm. And then you get some who will only ever tinker on the keys, but they can still tinker and get the occasional snippet. Yeah. But it's only by honing our skills, learning what we can and cannot do we learn. But we have to give ourselves permission to try and stop saying that I can't. If you say I can't, you instantly block yourself from doing something.
Yeah.
Because you're putting yourself off all the time. So for me, I gave myself permission to give it a go and discovered, oh my word, I can actually do this.
Yeah.
And I was quite shocked, believe me. But
it's good.
It's a wonderful way to explore your psychic and mediumistic abilities through the creative mind. Yeah, because you're not just talking, art world is not just orographs, it's not just spirit portraiture, it's music, it's the written word, it's inspired writing, it covers so many different things, just mediumship and the creative mind. Wow. So for me, I love playing with colour and shapes and just seeing where it leads.
So what obviously we've got people booked on the workshop already at the moment now. And there is still spaces available, but what do people need to bring with them really, except for the packed lunches and things?
Something to eat with them, as you said, but pastels and some pens for them to work with. But if anybody has their own art gear that they prefer, their own art media that they prefer to work in, they're welcome to bring that too.
Yeah.
So if they want to get themselves a nice sketch pad, you can get from the range. You can get these, which is a mixed media paper. Yep. This one's a Faber-Castell, absolutely wonderful paper to work on. This is only an A5, but this comes in a pack of 3. Yeah. From A3 size, an A4 and an A5 in the pack for $7.99 out of the range.
Wow.
Which is very, very cheap, considering how good the quality of the paper is. So I can heartily recommend getting yourself one of these.
Yeah.
The little one I keep in my handbag for when the muse takes me and want to draw if I'm out. I do. These things are dotted all over the house in case I just suddenly get I want to draw something. So I can heartily recommend them. They also have it in the range soft pastel selection. Right. The pastels are only about this big, but there's 48 colours to choose from. And it's only, are you ready for this, $6.99 a packet.
Wow.
Yeah. So reasonably cheap, and gel pens are good as well, but I will bring some with me.
So what we're saying to people is don't go on Amazon, spend a fortune when
Oh,
you
God,
can go in
no.
the range and get it cheap as chips.
You can get it cheap at the range. It's still quality stuff. It still does the job. The only thing they need to bring, but I'll bring it with me anyway, is hairspray, and that's to fix it.
Yeah.
But I will teach all about that in the class as well. So
you're not expected to bring it along, but if you would like to bring it along, it'll be easier for yourselves, because then you've got the tools later to practice with as well. And it's not an expensive cost that you're going to be looking at in buying.
I used to go to the pound shop.
Yeah.
And I used to buy a lot of things out of the cheap pound shop to find out what media I liked working in.
Yeah.
And now that I know where I like to work in, I'll pay for the more expensive stuff. But then I found in the range, Faber-Castell is one of the best names for art products. Right. And they're only charging $7.99 for them. I was like, I'll have several of them. Buy them whilst they're on bargain, because I go through a lot of paper. And, well, you can imagine, I go through a lot of paper and art materials in where I do. So, yeah.
Brilliant. So we'll just round off then, Coral, because I think we have explained everything that we can explain there. So Saturday, the 11th of May, 2024, and I'm so glad you did that poster, because I'd have probably put 2023 in it, like I did with the last one I did. We're looking at a 10:30 prompt start till 4:30 p.m. Doors will open at 10 a.m. They'll probably be open a little bit earlier, but if people start arriving at about 10 a.m., that gives you time to settle down, get a cup of tea, somewhere to sit.
Oh, yes.
Self-prepared.
It is a relaxed class. Do expect to work, but to have fun as well. So,
exactly. Yeah.
It should be good.
Going on to the cost, we do require a £10 deposit from people, which is non-refundable. The full cost for a member is £20 per person and £25 per non-member. So if you are a member of the church, you do get a £5 discount off the workshop. If you're a non-member, it's the full £25. And that £10 deposit will be took off the figure on the day. So if for example, if you've paid your £10 deposit and you're a member and you pay £20, there's only £10 left outstanding to pay on the day. I know we just had a few comments come in there. So Valerie Griffiths is saying hello to us there. And Karen Dunn as well has just said, could I be added to this workshop, please? So Karen, best thing for you to do, get in touch with us on the Facebook page. And what we can do is we can arrange either for you to come into church and pay that deposit, or we can arrange a bank transfer payment and secure your place that way. We only have 20 spaces on the course. That's right, isn't it, Coral?
I'll only take a maximum of 20 because I believe every student deserves to have one-to-one attention if they need one-to-one attention. So I won't take any more than 20.
So we have got a maximum of 20. We're near enough halfway full now. So if people are wanting to get booked on this course, please get in touch with us on the Facebook page or leave a comment, and I will go back and check through it later on, and we'll let you know how to get your tickets and everything sorted for that. But I think that we've covered everything there. Tea and coffee will be supplied on the day as well, so you don't need to bring any hot water flasks with you or anything like that. You'll be able to have as many cups of tea or coffee as you wish during your breaks and things like that as well. But contact the church either on the mobile phone number on the poster or via the Facebook page. Drop us a message and we'll get you sorted out that way. So I think that we've covered everything there, Coral, that we can cover without going on and on.
Yeah. And I've got to get packed. I've got to go to the Arthur Findlay College tomorrow, so I'm all very excited. Yeah. So I'm off to open week, so all exciting.
That'll be fun. Yeah. So I think it just leaves me to say thank you very much, Coral, for coming on to discuss this. And thank you, everyone that's joined us on Facebook and YouTube as well this evening. And we will be back with further workshops in the coming future because we've got more to come this year as well. So we will leave that there and say thank you very much, everyone, and good evening. See you later.
And thank you very much. Take care, everyone. Bye.